Hey, what's up, everybody? So, part of the objective that I want to do here is to just give everybody a sort of crash course on what I consider to be the most important things that have happened in the past 100 years that have sort of shaped where we are today. Now, as you can see here, title being FDR's New Deal Details. So, some of you might have heard of this, maybe in high school or whatever, but yeah, I just wanted to breeze through it quick. It'll take like less than a minute or two. Just wanted to give you the highlights of what really the magnitude of the impact that it had on America was. So, 1929, the Great Depression hits, and the presidential election of 1932, FDR wins, and he inherits this just absolutely brutal depression that's still going on. In a lot of areas, unemployment was as high as 80%. There are constantly runs in the bank, very low amount of faith in the financial system and the government. So for FDR's first 100 days in office, he starts implementing major changes. He did several acts that gave workers the right to unionize and collectively bargain and demand higher wages and better working conditions. He implemented the Glass-Steagall Act, which mandated the separation of commercial banks and investment banks. The reason for that was that the investment banks were criticized and thought to be a big reason for why the stock market had gotten to such a high level during this time period, and it was such a devastating crash eventually. And as you can see there, that was repealed in 1999, but I don't want to get off into the weeds with that. So the steps that FDR tried to take did not make a dent in the problem. So he went even harder with the New Deal Part 2 in 1935. So he created the WPA, which gave jobs to unemployed people. He created the National Labor Relations Act, which empowered unions and prevented businesses from threatening their workers unfairly. So he gave a lot of power to the worker, the labor people, and took a lot of leverage away from businesses. And the big one is the Social Security Act, which, yes, like the Social Security we still have today, that was started under FDR. It guaranteed a pension to Americans of a retirement age, and it included the welfare programs that we still have today. Now, this video, I'm not going to get into great detail of how I feel about this plan, but I will say that I don't think there's a easy answer to this one as to whether or not these were the right steps to take for this time, because you don't get a Great Depression every day, so there's not exactly a playbook on how to handle it. But these policies did leave behind some difficult things that we have to deal with today, like how unaffordable it is for Social Security to still exist, and how people can sort of become dependent on welfare and take it for granted. And as you can see in this last bullet point, people are still unhappy with it and even more entitled. So these situations like this, you either get the worker being treated unfairly or the business owner being put in a tough spot. So there's never a solution to things. There's only trade-offs. So that's really the best way to sort of resolve things, is to decide on what the most tolerable trade-off is. So let me know if this was boring or informative. Still trying to feel out what's interesting to people and what's only interesting to me. But we'll get there. We'll see what the popular stuff is. And till next time, thank you and have a great day.